Most people are strong until something actually needs to be carried. You throw a barbell on their back. They're heroes. Ask them to carry 2 grocery bags, a sandbag, and whatever dignity they have left across the parking lot, their spine might fold like they just been drafted into a Pilates class they didn't sign up for. Carrying weight exposes your real strength. No machines, no perfect angles, no padded seats, no mirror muscles, just you and gravity in the question. Can you move weight or can't you? And that's why carries are the purest strength metric on earth. They reveal everything: your grip integrity, your trunk stability, your gait mechanics, your CNS resilience, your posture, your breathing, your force transfer, your tolerance under load. It's raw, it's honest, and it's unforgiving. And that's why it's forged grit. Because by the time we finish here, you'll not only know why carries are non-negotiable, you'll know exactly how to build a progression that turns your entire body into a load-bearing fortress. Now let's get into the biomechanics before anyone gets sentimental. Loaded carries are the closest thing we have to human movement distilled. They train the body the way the body was built to move, not in arbitrary gym patterns, but in real locomotion under load. Biomechanical reality here. They train gait under load, the foundation of all your movement. You can squat 500 pounds and still move like a refrigerator with feet. Carry forces coordination, timing, fore articulation, and spinal position. They also train cross-body force transfer. Your left foot gets the ground. Your right lat, oblique, and glute have to stabilize. This is what's called the Surratt pattern. And if you ignore it, you move like a malfunctioning shopping cart. They also train the nervous system, not just the muscles. Carries are a symphony of bracing, breathing, stepping, stabilizing, recentering, and rebalancing under threat. Yes, threat. Your nervous system interprets load as survival, and that's why carries build grit faster than any motivation quote ever will. They also strengthen connective tissue. Muscles adapt fast. Tendons, ligaments, fascia, they take time and demand. Carry loads these tissues the way they're naturally meant to be loaded, gradually, cyclically, rhythmically. And they also are the most transferable strength on earth. Nothing in nature or real life happens like a barbell squat, but everything in nature and real life happens like a carry. So let's stop pretending carries are accessory work, they're foundational work, and it's time to build the forge grip progression that raises your entire capabilities. I'm going to give you the entire backbone of progression, from novice to sovereign level load bearer. No circus tricks, no bodybuilding fluff, real strength, real capacity, real movement mastery, and the progression looks like this. You're going to start with the farmer carry. This is going to be your baseline strength. Then you move to the single arm farmer carry, anti-rotation power here. Then you do a front rack carry. You're going to work with the thoracic and core integration. Then do a zercher carry, anterior chain dominance on this one. Then you jump into a bear hug carry, my personal favorite. This is going to work your midline and breath control. Then try to do a sandbag shoulder carry. Now you're going to try doing unilateral load mastery. Then do a sandbag back carry. You're going to be working your posterior chain durability on that one. Then you're going to work on a heavy ass frame carry. This will be your force transfer maximums. Then you're going to work into a sled drag carry hybrid, which is going to be gait and strength blending. And then at the end of everything, chaos or odd object carry. That's your sovereign capacity. But we're going to start where every lifter should start, with the farmer carry. If you can't handle equal loads in both hands while walking, you're not that strong. I don't care how much you bench or how crisp your squat depth is, if your gait collapses under moderate weight, your foundation is not that hollow. The farmer carry will build your grip integrity, scapular depression strength, breathing control, spine stabilization, pelvic leveling, true core strength, and lower leg stiffness for efficiency gaits. Farmer carries train the entire axial skeleton suspension system, the way the lats, obliques, pelvis, and feet manage load while moving. This is the carry you can do the most often, too. Treat this like brushing your teeth. It should be part of your life. But equal loading only gets you so far. The next carry forces your brain to wake up. That is the single arm farmer carry. This is where you find out if you have a strong core. Most people collapse sideways under even moderate unilateral load. This shows they've never trained the real purpose of the core, which is resisting motion, not creating it. A single arm carry builds lateral trunk stabilization, oblique glute sling activation, anti-rotation power, foot to hip coordination, pelvis control, spinal alignment under asymmetry. This is the carry that translates directly to running, throwing, jumping, grappling, and living as an upright organism. Your CNS loves this stimulus because it represents its natural asymmetry. It's more human than symmetrical lifting. And once your core can handle asymmetry, it's time to load up the torso itself. You're going to jump into the front rack carry, which is going to be your barbells, kettlebells, sandbags. It doesn't matter. Front rack carries force the thoracic spine to stay honest. No collapsing, no rib flaring, no cheating. You're going to be training your midline tension, diaphragmatic control, upper back endurance, deep core engagement, hip stability under frontal load. Front rack carries are your spine armor. They train the exact posture you need for squats, cleans, deadlifts, and basically existing as a functional adult human. And now we're going to get to the first real gut check of the series, the zercher carry. If you've never done a zercher carry, prepare to meet the devil in the shape of your own elbows. This carry exposes your trunk integrity, your hip flexor resilience, and your breathing pattern with brutality that's impossible to fake. The zercher carry will build anterior chain power, midline rigidity under compression, leg drive under forward load, bracing endurance, hip flexor durability. The reason this movement hits so hard is the load position. It's low, it's forward, and trying to fold you in half. If you want to know whether your core program is doing anything, do a zercher carry for 40 meters. If your soul leaves your body halfway, you have your answer. And now we're going to move into the carry that every athlete needs, a bear hug. The bear hug sandbag carry is one of the most underestimated carries on earth. This movement teaches you to breathe under load, brace under compression, find strength when the bag tries to suffocate whatever bravery you thought you had. You're going to be training your tension with breathing, ribcage mechanics, thoracic integrity, hip drive, grip endurance, and total body stability. This carry is going to train breathing against pressure, one of the hallmarks of a durable athlete. And now that we've hammered the midline, it's time to attack the unilateral load patterns that build mountain-strong humans. We're going to be jumping into the sandbag shoulder carry. You're going to throw a sandbag on your shoulder and walk. That's it. You think simplicity means mercy? You'd be wrong. This is going to teach you side loading tolerance, oblique and lat sling activation, hip stabilization, foot pressure mechanics, and breathing with the shifted rib cage. This is the carry that fixes runners, hikers, and anyone who collapses sideways under fatigue. Now we're going to progress into the posterior chain version, the sandbag back carry. This is not a back squat. This load placement forces the hips, glutes, spinal erectors, and hamstrings to work together in a completely different way. You're going to build posterior chain endurance, trunk integrity, gait strength under load, foot to hip power transfer, long duration stability. This is the carry that feels like mountain legs in a bag. Now we're going to go heavy, real heavy, because it's time for the frame carry. You want to know what you're truly made of? Pick up a frame or heavy farmer handles and walk until the world narrows down to pure survival instinct. This carry is maximal strength, maximal stability, maximal CNS demand, and maximal posture discipline. It trains the global stiffness system, the ability to maintain structural integrity under crushing load. Now it's going to blend strength, gait mechanics, and conditioning with a sled drag carry hybrid. This is a loaded locomotion with built-in resistance and rear chain emphasis. You're going to build stronger stride mechanics, better ankle stiffness, powerful hip extension, grip endurance, breathing control. This is the movement that teaches your legs to behave like engines and not decorative limbs. And finally, we graduate to the sovereign level, the chaos carry. Rocks, logs, water jugs, uneven sandbags, slosh pipes, things that bite you, shift on you, demand attention, force adaptation. Odd object carries build problem-solving strength, reactive stabilization, mental grit, CNS adaptation, and real-world readiness. This is going to be the peak of fortitude training, the training that builds capability in unpredictable environments. And before we close, here's the truth you need to hear, the truth that makes carries different from every other lift in your program. But every day of your life, you carry things. Groceries, kids, bags, tools, responsibilities, stress, weight, literal and figurative. Carries teach you how to move with it all. Carries teach your body to organize under pressure. Carries teach your mind to stay calm under stress. Carries teach your nervous system what sovereignty feels like. You want strength that lasts, strength that transfers, strength that matters when life stops being comfortable? Carry weight, carry responsibility, carry purpose, carry yourself with capability. Because carry strength is life strength, and nothing builds sovereignty like moving weight, and that is forged grit.